Wisconsin Broadcasters Association Hall of Famer Bob Berry ruled Milwaukee's airwaves in the 60s and 70s. He spoke with countless musicians and celebrities over the years. Bob collected remarkable recordings of these encounters, which he's now sharing with the public. Here's Bob.
From your childhood comes this podcast with Captain Kangaroo.
Good morning, Captain.
Good morning, Captain.
Good morning, Captain.
Good morning.
Good morning, Captain. Won't you come on out and play?
Bob Keeshan created and played the title role in the children's program. Captain Kangaroo was the longest-running kids' TV show of the day. It ran from 1955 to 1984. Bob also played Clarabell the Clown on the Howdy Doody Show. We had this conversation on the set of a Captain Kangaroo show that was filmed at Great America in Gurnee, Illinois. I was offered interviews with the cast and what they called a new and up-and-coming actor. I turned that one down. Turned out to be a big mistake. That actor was John Ritter, who became the star of the TV sitcom Three's Company.
We're here at Great America talking to Bob Keeshan, Captain Kangaroo. And before I get started, I've got to ask him if he ever gets tired of all the same questions over and over again, like the same questions I'm going to ask him now.
No, I can't. I mean, the questions, I hope, are important questions, and they deserve attention all the time, so I'm happy to answer. Happy to have the opportunity, the forum to answer questions.
Why is Captain Kangaroo at Great America instead of some other park, for instance?
Well, Great America is a very fine theme park, and in essence, they have built for us, not intentionally, but they have built a set for us so that we have written 4 shows. The writers are able to write different shows than they would ever be able to write using sets that we could provide in the studio. We could never provide the kind of, the New England Harbor, for example, that we've been working with today could not be provided in the studio. So it gives the writers the opportunity to do a different kind of a script, and it gives a different look to the show, and so that's why we're doing 4 shows in Great America.
In watching you shoot the Captain Kangaroo show here at Great America, it seems like a lot of work has gone into this. How much advanced preparation and how much writing goes into a show like this?
Well, I'm sure I'll leave a lot of people out, but the original contact, I guess, was 5 or 6 or 7 months ago, and there was a survey made at that time by an associate producer, and it was decided that the park was suitable for our uses, and then we went back and talked to writers, and 4 writers wrote 4 different scripts, having familiarized themselves with the park and what was available to them. And then those scripts went into production, and as they might in the studio, but a lot of preparation involved there, and in costume and props and makeup and all that sort of thing. And then we brought 20-some-odd people in on Monday, and here we are, and we'll be shooting right through Friday evening.
Speaking of surveys, how many women are in your audience in the morning? Do you have any idea?
Well, I don't know in absolute numbers. That varies from different times of the year, but rather consistently over the 22 years, about 1/3 of our audience has been composed of adult women, and we've been very happy to see that because we believe that's when the program works best, when it becomes a shared experience, mother with child, or even father with child. So we're happy to see that 1/3 of our audience, adult women, has consistently been so through the years.
When are we going to be seeing these shows that are filmed here at Great America?
In the middle of September. I think it's the 12th, 13th, 14th, 15th, somewhere in that area in the middle of September. They'll actually, I guess, be kicking off our 23rd season.
Do you ever get out of costume when you're near children? Obviously, you have to at sometimes, right?
Yes, but I don't like to deal with children when I'm out of costume because, after all, if the program is successful, what we have done is dealt in illusions, and Captain Kangaroo and I are 2 different individuals. And if a 2-year-old or a 3-year-old really enjoys Captain Kangaroo, I think it's rather cruel to say, look, here's Captain Kangaroo. Well, no, I know he doesn't have his wig on now, and he's not really Captain Kangaroo, and he wears a costume. Well, that's destroying the Santa Claus myth. This society seems so intent on destroying illusions as early as we possibly can. We can't wait to get to a 2-year-old and tell him there is no Santa Claus. And I think that's terrible because we're destroying the imaginative processes of young people, which start at a year and 1.5, and even earlier, some people say. They don't start at 18 when you're in a freshman English comp class in college. So I think it's very important that we encourage imagination on the part of children, and that's why I don't like to meet children out of costume, because I think it does destroy illusions. If we're successful in building the illusions, we shouldn't destroy them by introducing me out of costume. And if we don't care about the illusion, why bother introducing me in the first place?
How many shows are produced throughout the year, and what percentage of those do you go outside the studio to shoot?
Well, I guess did about, last year we did about 130, and I guess about 25 of them were outside the studio. So that means we air 160. We take of the 130 that we did brand new last year, we probably repeat 70 or 80, which still leaves us 50 or 60 short, and they come from evergreen shows, Christmas shows, 4th of July shows, Washington's birthday programs of that sort that run on holidays every year.
Is this as close as you've ever come to Milwaukee?
I guess it is. You know, I don't know what has happened to me in my entire career, spanning 30 years. Milwaukee is one of the few places in the United States that I have not spent any time in, and I really don't know why that is, because I've always had a nice, warm feeling about Milwaukee. A lot of nice people I've known from Milwaukee, and I don't know why I've never worked in Milwaukee. It's Milwaukee and Seattle, I think, are the two cities in the United States I've never worked in.
Thank you very much for talking with us. Belated happy birthday.
Thank you very much. Thank you.
Bob Berry.
Thank you for listening to Bob Berry's Unearthed Interviews. Be sure to subscribe and rate our podcast on iTunes or wherever you find your podcasts. You can find all the episodes at WisconsinBroadcastingMuseum.org. Check out Bob Berry's book, Rock and Roll Radio Milwaukee. Book sale proceeds support Angels Kids Fund and Donate Life Wisconsin. The preceding program was made possible by a generous contribution from Terry Vaughn.